Takes the snap, short drop, hits the quarterback.
Welcome to After the Whistle, episode 5.2. Coming up today, 5-minute recap, peak performer of the week, famous quotes, BELLACINO'S player of the week, Stump the CRIG, top 5, and Pigskin picks, all in 30 minutes. Gentlemen, welcome to today's program. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
How you doing?
Doing better this week.
Doing pretty good.
Doing fairly.
Long weekend.
Don't know about the purdy part.
Long weekend.
Long weekend. All right, well, we're going to jump straight into it here. We're going to change the format just a little bit here on the show. So those of you that's been watching, we're going to trim it down, trim the fat just a little bit. We'll trim it in some places and get it a little bit shorter. Our weekly recap is now a 5-minute recap, and we're on the clock now talking about this past week's game. So let's take a look at it real quick. This past week's game is going to take me the whole time here to figure out
where my paperwork's at.
All right. Virginia High defeated John Battle 52-14. This is now 14 straight losses for John Battle. Patrick Henry 48, Lebanon 24. Coach Taylor said that the Pioneers were taken out behind the woodshed this past week. Christiansburg over Abingdon 22-13. 3 turnovers for the Falcons in the loss there. Lehigh all over Eastside 31-0. The Generals with 366 yards of total offense. Rural Retreat, got it right that time. Rural Retreat 39, Eastmont 8. The Indians are now 3-0, front runner in the region. Holston 42, Twin Springs 16. This game was televised on WCYB.
And what I was told, the field looked real good.
Field looked good. Looked like you spent about $5 or $6 grand on paint there. Wise Central 49, Marion 28. Alec Jitt with 3 touchdowns there for Wise. Rye Cove 20, Northwood nothing. Eagles now 2-0 after disappointment of last season.
B.I. Salyers, first shutout in a long time.
Yeah, first shutout since 2017. Shout out to them. J.I. Burton 26, Chilhowie 7. Warriors were gashed for 303 yards on the ground. And then we have Honecker 34, Castlewood 31. Fellas, talk about this one real quick. Todd Tiller's first win as Tigers head coach. This was a barn burner.
Well, Coach Tiller went 2-0 on Friday. 1-0 on the game and 1-0 with the best beard.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a better beard.
Better beard than Bubba on Friday.
Better beard than Bubba. That's
I seen the T-shirts out too that said Bubba Ball.
Bubba Ball.
That's pretty good.
Which they played pretty daggone good,
Yeah.
boys.
Hey, Honecker led 26-6 going late into the third. Looked like the game was over, and the wood came back. That's what happens when you sling the ball.
That's right. When you throw the ball in high school, you got a chance.
Peyton Music scored with 1:44 left for Honecker to take the win, but after being down 26-6, Castlewood took the lead temporarily. So big comeback from them, and Tigers able to avoid the upset loss there. Up next, we have George Witt 36, Fort 7. Fort now falls to 0-2. Hurley 43, Tom Walker 13, Kevin Looney with 3 interceptions for the Rebels in that particular game.
Big bounce back for the Rebels.
Graham 38, Tazewell 8, G-Mid are now 2-0. Radford 62-12 over Gate City. Gate City now falls to 0-2 on the season. Union 42 and Big R with the goose egg 0. Rayshawn Anderson 287 yards rushing for the Bears, and Big R had 4 first downs for the whole game.
Well, the only thing I need to know out of this game, did Cam Bostic score?
We'll have to take a look at that. That should be could play.
Already did.
Oh, you already take
I don't think he did.
He didn't. Well, you know what that means.
And they didn't tell us what was in the backpack.
All right, so there you go. All right, so let's take a look at the last game we got here. Ridgeview 34, Grundy 20. Grundy now falls to 0-2 after being favored to win the region. What are you guys' thoughts on this one?
I thought they played pretty good by looking at the score. Like I said, I wasn't there. I was going by what some people said. Said the quarterback struggled in the first half, throwing couple picks.
Yeah,
and
Oak win.
Oak win, but said second half come out and
I think they had 3 turnovers first half, so and they got behind a little bit there. And second half, I think they cleaned things up, but still, Grundy's still going to be right there in the mix and region.
looks like Grundy's going to finish 8-2.
I think another big part of the story here is Scammell held to 54 yards on 22 carries. They did a pretty decent job of holding him in check, evidently.
Ridgevie's always defensively are always tough. Anyway, I think Kent Grant. I think he's defense coordinator now. I think Coach Stanley may be doing more with the offense, but he's always tough to scheme against. You know, he's always he will always have them lined up right.
All right, Grundy had a 14-13 halftime lead, but wasn't able to hang on to it.
Which is impressive for itself of a team that's explosive as the Ridge
I was
Kitties.
more impressed with Grundy than I was Ridgeview. You know.
All right. Okay, that's our weekly recap. Pistol, what time we coming in there on that?
All right, here we go.
All right, we got that weekly recap taken care of. Now it's time for our Peak Performer of the Week. Our Peak Performer of the Week brought to you by True Point Bank. Check out our commercial on True Point Bank and give them a yell there. Our Peak Performer of the Week is the Rye Cove Eagles defense.
Salyers.
First shutout since 2017. Want to give a shout out to Rye Cove. And that's really impressive considering the circumstances that they were in last year. And now look at them, already on a roll here, 2-0.
Yes.
Congratulations to the Rye Cove. And I was told the other day by Michael Edwards that it is acceptable to call them the War Eagles. I was caught doing that a little while back, and somebody corrected me on it. But I've been told now that it seems to be growing in popularity again. So maybe there's something to that and the success that the Eagles are having. All right.
I didn't even know you couldn't call them.
Well, technically they're Eagles, I think now, but at one time a lot of people called them the War Eagles.
What's the difference?
War.
I know.
There's
But
another word.
what's
I don't know. I don't know if they
correct?
No, I think they officially. No, I think
Oh.
they just changed the name, and I'm not sure if it ever was an official thing.
Don't get more started on being politically correct in politics.
All right. Nonetheless, our Peak Performer of the Week, once again, Rye Cove defense. Now we're adding a new segment. I want you to pay attention to this because this is something that you can actually come up and end up winning some BELLACINO'S pizza. What we're going to do is we're going to have a famous movie quote or a famous quote from a famous football player, one of the two that we're going to come up with each week. We're going to say the quote. The first person that can tell us where that quote originated, and you have to do it on our Facebook page. Once again, you have to go to @After the Whistle on our Facebook page. Be the first person to do it, and your name will be entered into a season-ending contest there. You can get some BELLACINO
So we
pizza.
give the thing and then they finish the quote.
They finish, well, I give them the quote and they tell me who it was that said it. They have to answer this on the Facebook page. You can't text Krieger the answer. Okay, you got to put the answer on our Facebook page @After the Whistle. And if you're the first one that does it, then you're going to be entered into our drawing. All right, so our famous quote is one that's probably one of the most famous Hollywood quotes of all time. And I remember it because I don't even want you to butcher it. And that famous quote is, frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. Who was it that said that? And reply on our Facebook page and let us know who it was that said it, what that is associated with, and you will be entered in to win the contest. First person to reply on our Facebook page. All right, moving up next, we've got our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. And this week, our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week is Mr. Kevin Looney from Hurley, Virginia. Kevin had 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 173 all-purpose yards. He had a 102-yard pick 6, and he scored off a bubble screen as well. And we're going to take a look at Kevin Looney here, our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week.
All right, guys, we're here with our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week for Week 2, Mr. Kevin Looney from Hurley High School. He had three interceptions this week, 1 pick 6, a 102-yard interception return, 1 pass reception for a touchdown, and like 157 all-purpose yards. And Kevin really did it all for us this week. And Kevin, just tell us a little bit about last week's game. I know we bounced back from a tough loss, and just talk a little bit about last week.
Well, we didn't want to come out 0-2 to start the season, and we came out with heart and fight. And we just didn't want to lose our first home game.
Man, I'll tell you what, you had an awesome game. One of the best all-around games I've ever seen, offensively, defensively, special teams. You did it all, man. And congratulations to our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week,
Thank you.
Kevin Looney.
All right. Welcome back to the show. Now it's time for our top 5 in 1A and 2A, brought to you by the Wooden Horse Grill, located in Hurley, Virginia, right down the street from the Hurley Meat Market. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Across
You
from
know-
IGA.
Yeah. It's not the IGA no more.
No, it's not.
But the Hurley Meat Market, you can't beat Hurley's Meat.
All right, folks. We're going to start out with our top 5 in 1A. I'll kick it off tonight with mine. Coming in at number 5, they're 0-2. I still think they're one of the better teams, if not the best team, or has the potential to be the best team in 1A in this region, and that is Grundy. I have them at 5. I've got Twin Springs coming in at number 4. Number 3, I have Holston. Number 2, I have the Patrick Henry Rebels, and number 1, I have the 3-0 Rural Retreat Indians.
Well, I'm telling you, Roll Retreat, I told you week 1 when we first had it, Jamie, Coach Hughes, is ready to have them ready. And they're what, 2-0? 3-0. My top 5, starting at number 5, we've got the Honeacre Tigers, pulling off the big win against the Castlewood Blue Devils.
Mustard Biscuit Brigade.
Yeah, number 4, got the Grundy Golden Wave. I know they're 0-2, but they were winning at halftime Friday. It's good enough for me against the good Ridgeview Kitty Pack. All right, then we got the next 3 boys can go either way, but I've got Holston at 3, PH at 2, and Roll Retreat at number 1.
All right. What do you got there, Coach?
All
1A.
right, in 1A at number 5, I got Holston cracking the top 5 at number 5. Number 4, I got the Lebanon Pioneers. Number 3, I still think they're one of the best teams in the region, is the Grundy Golden Wave at 0-2. Number 2 is Royal Retreat Indians, and the number 1 is Seth Patchett's Patrick Henry Rebels.
All right. So you and I have got Rural Retreat at number 1, and he's got PH at 1.
Well, then it's a possibility Roll Retreat and PH could play each other twice.
That is true. All right.
People's trying to figure that out right now. How in the world they do it?
All right, let's move it on to our 2A top 5. 2A, I've got number 5. I've got the Wise Central Warriors coming in at 5. I have the Tazewell Bulldogs at number 4. Ridgeview Wolfpack, number 3. Union Bears at number 2. And my number 1 team in 2A, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. I've got the G-Men, Graham G-Men.
Well, this is tough. My top 5 in AA is, I'm going to start with number 1 because there's no doubt. He's been number 1 for the past 4 years, seems like 10 years.
Nature boy.
He's Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing. The Graham G-Men. I mean, that's just a given. Number 2, I've got the Ridgeview Kitty Cats bumping up at number 2. Even though they had a little letdown Friday, but I still like them at number 2. And number 3, I'm going to keep the Big R in there. The Big R, I'm still holding on. I think I'll give them one more week. Number 4, I got the Tazewell Bull Puppies. They played the best team in the state, so you can't knock them for losing. I mean, it is what it is. And number 5 guys, 5 guys, that's good.
Tazewell what?
Goodberg Graham.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, the G man, the G
Sorry,
man.
Tony.
But number 5, boys, this team, I'm telling you, it's a tough one between a couple of teams, but I went with the Gate City Blue Devils.
Nobody else you want to throw in there?
Nobody.
You can't think of anybody else?
Nobody.
Can't think of anybody that may have won at least one game?
Not Yogi, not any of them.
All right. All right, Coach, you
All right, number 5, I got the Tazewell Bulldogs slipping in at number 5. Number 4, I got the Wise Central Warriors. We'll kind of see where they're at this week, you know, kind of test they'll have. They really haven't had any stiff competition yet. But number 3, I got the Ridgeview Wolfpack. I thought they played a little sluggish Friday, but we'll see if they can get back rolling. And number 2, I got the Union Bears, and number 1 is without a doubt the G-Men.
All right. Well, that rounds out our 1A and our 2A top 5. And as the thing starts settling in here, these numbers are going to be pretty much consistent moving forward. All right. Thanks once again to the Wooden Horse Grill sponsoring our top 5. Now it's time for our Pigskin Prognostications, brought to you by Buchanan General Hospital. Fellas, last week's stats. Last week I was 10-4. Coach Tester, you were 11-3, and you were smoky. 13-1.
That's what I thought.
Who did you lose to?
I think I picked Coach Gideon. No,
Oh, yeah, Murray.
Lee's
Yeah,
got the QB, boys.
You picked Marion, yeah.
And Murray played pretty good.
Yeah.
I just thought. I mean, why is they played good.
That was that Emory Bourne and
Emory
Bread
Bread,
let you down.
They did.
All right. Well, we're going to jump straight into it. We're going to go into a little bit more depth on some of these and talk about them, but right straight across the board, I'm going to shout out the game, and you guys tell me who's going to win, and then we'll move right on down the line. First game up on our Pigskin Prognostications, Gate City versus Abingdon.
Abingdon.
Galax at Carroll County.
Galax. Why are we picking that one?
Well, I mean, it's on there. I got Galax as well. Fort at Radford. Fort 0-2
We don't even
right
talk
now.
about this, but that's too far southwest Virginia.
Well, we don't mention it. There'll be somebody
That's
say
right.
something back.
That's right.
Central at Ridgeview.
Mm.
This was one we can kind of chatter a little bit here.
Hey, better. So we better.
On paper, Ridgeview, but you know you never know with this game. So
Where's this game being played?
It's at Rose Ridge, so I'm gonna go with Ridgeview.
Now, I think Ridgeview, I think the passing game, Grundy did get a few picks against them, but I look for Ridgeview to beat. But the thing is, when you got a passing game like that, you can come back quickly, even if you get
That's
down
right.
at a deficit. And I think that's going to be the difference. Plus the fact that
And
it's
if you got a running game, you can milk the clock.
well, you can. That's true. And then if you're not throwing some good passing against that, you can really struggle. But the fact that it's at Ridgeview, I expect the Fall to roll in and Ridgeview to win this.
I'm going with the
I don't know. You
Ridgeview.
remember what happened last time the Fall rode in?
That's true. I couldn't find the ball.
What you got there, Coach?
I got the
Ridgeview.
All right, Ridgeview across the board, folks. That is a lock, Ridgeview. So that's our 4th lock so far. So all the way across the board. So this is a guaranteed thing here. Up next, we got John Battle at Holston.
Holston.
I'm going to go with Holston as well. Holston defending Region D champs. That's 3 for 3 across the board. That is a lock. Guaranteed win there for Holston Cavaliers. Up next, we've got Union Bears at Burton. Yeah, Burton. This is an interesting matchup here.
Union Bears.
Burton ran the ball well last week. You got Union in that one. I'm going to take the Bears in this one. I think defensively they'll be able to contain that Burton run game enough to where they can get Burton in a deficit. Burton's going to have trouble coming back.
Well, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not taking Norton.
You're not picking Norton.
No.
Okay. So
I'm not picking Norton.
Okay. So that means you're taking.
I'm not taking Norton.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Up next, we have Richlands at Graham. Richlands at Graham. Fellas, I'm going with the G-men. Home field advantage here, plus they're red hot. And Big R had 4 first downs last week. I'm wondering if they're going to have any this week. I hate to say it, but I'm going to call it right now. Richlands with no first downs. That's putting some pressure on that Graham defense.
Well, I'm going with the G-Man, but I ain't saying that, but, so.
I'm going with the new Mance.
The new man's, okay. All right.
The Patron.
Patron. All right, up next we got Marion at Northwood.
Marion.
I'm taking Marion as well. What about you, Coach Tester?
Who was it?
Marion at Northwood.
I'm going with Marion this time.
Marion. All right, Tazewell at Colonial Heights.
What in the world? Is that one of them? Are they an answer after Colonial Heights?
No, that's it.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's up in Roanoke.
I know nothing about them. I know that Tazewell's going to be probably on the road a little bit in this one. I'm going to take the Bulldogs.
I'm going with the Bulldogs too. Don't know much about the other one.
I guess we'll go with the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs across the board. That's a guaranteed lock right there, boy. Guaranteed win.
60.
All right, Bland at Rye Cove. This is interesting.
Rye Cove.
I think the War Eagles, which is I prefer to call them. I think they start the season out
3-0, 4-0.
No, 3-0.
3-0.
3-0. I think they'll start the season out 3-0 here and get some excitement.
You know, they had
going on
that
over there.
major upset week 1, and they've rolled ever since.
Who you got, Coach?
Rocco.
Rye Cove. All right. So that's a lock across the board there. Rye Cove going to try to duplicate defensively what they did last week, and would be interesting if they had back-to-back shutouts. Let's throw a little bit.
I'm guaranteeing a shutout.
Throw a little bit of heat on B out there.
I'm guaranteeing BI with his back-to-back shutout.
All right. GW at Giles.
GW at Giles.
They still running the wingy wing.
GW.
Yeah, I'm going to take
They're
GW in this
struggling
one. I
right
think Giles is struggling right now. So I'm going to go with GW in this.
We can phone a friend and see, get some scoop on something. I don't know. I'm going to guess I'll go with George Will.
GW across the board. That is a guaranteed lock. What is a gold star lock right there? That's what we're going to start calling them. Gold star locks. We can sell these things to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Up next we got Retreat at Grayson County. This ought to be a good
I'm
game.
going with Roar Retreat.
Can they start out 4-0 on the road in hostile territory?
It's Grayson County done.
I think they're, Stephen James is the new coach, has been there at Grayson County. I expect one of his teams to, I don't know how long he's had to develop the kids, but I think his teams are going to be well prepared.
Who's?
Stephen James.
Oh.
But I'm gonna give the nod to
Emory versus Emory, boys.
I'm gonna take Rural Retreat now.
I'm taking double R.
Double
You
R.
made the same. I'm on.
Across the board, boys. That's a lock right there. Gold star lock. All right, next we got NARS at Chihai.
I'm going with Nares.
I'm going to take NARS as well.
I'm going to go with a shocker here and take Narrows.
Okay. All right, let's talk about this one here. Hurley at Phelps. Hurley at Phelps. The Rebels You've seen Phelps. Tell us what the Rebels need to worry about.
Kevin Looney again, big.
Kevin Looney big.
Or Landon Bailey. He will, whatever.
We can't take nobody for granted.
So with a win, Hurley would go to 2-1.
Hurley guaranteed will be 2-1.
Guaranteed. All right. Rebels. I'm going with the Rebels as well. It's across the board there. We've got the Rebels, so that's a guaranteed lock. Gold star lock. All right. Castlewood at Tom Walker.
I'm going with the Beard. Wade Castlewood and the Mustard.
Well, I don't know, but their quarterback left injured.
Against Honeacre?
No,
Thomas
Thomas
Walker.
Walker's against us, so I don't know how he is, but didn't
Quarterback.
look good. But
What,
anyway,
quarterback or no
what
quarterback?
kind of defensive front Is Tom Walker throwing that
What time?
against you guys?
They had a 50 front, just basic.
Well, they're not going to be able to do that against
So,
the
yeah,
bubble
so
ball.
they're going to have to get out of the box.
Yeah, they can't do that against bubble ball.
But I look for Castlewood to roll on this one.
All right. Castlewood across the board. That's a lock, folks. Up next, we got Lebanon at Eastside. Eastside, miserable
Yeah.
performance last week for Eastside. I
You
think
sure who you taking?
Lebanon?
You sure?
I think Darrell Taylor and company rebounds with a good win here. He's back in the win column. Across the board, that's a lock. And then we got Unaka at Twin Springs. Traditionally, historically, Twin Springs has pretty much owned this.
Twin Springs.
I'm going with Twin Springs as well. What about you, Coach? Twin Springs. And then we have Virginia High at PH.
That's what beat High do last week.
I'm going PH.
PH. That's going to be an interesting game right there. Virginia High won last week.
John Battle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Put up 56, I think it was. Maybe
We're dragging.
a little bit incorrect on that score there, but I think the game being at PH, I think in the end, Virginia High may have a little bit too much speed, but if PH can control the clock, Virginia High's in trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to go PH.
I'm going to take PH.
I'm going with Tim Burke and Seth Paget.
PH across the board here.
I didn't figure you'd go with them too, buddy.
Burke's one of my big buddies.
Pagination.
All right, fellas.
That's a good one, boys.
Is that all we've got? Grundy open this week?
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully I can do a little bit better than I did last week, and you can't do much better than what you did. 13
That's
to
the way
1.
I do.
It's pretty good. All right.
I got a thing. I mean, if anybody can answer this, go on our webpage or on our Facebook page, like it, and answer this question. Back in the day, what ice cream did we eat out of a toilet roll?
That's easy.
Ice cream out of a toilet.
That's easy.
Oh, I know.
A toilet paper roll.
I know,
What ice
yeah,
cream did
okay.
we eat out of a toilet paper
I know
roll?
what you're talking about now. That's a good one. That is. Toilet paper roll. Only you would notice that.
I know it, but
Have you figured it out yet?
I know it.
No, don't say nothing. Well, I'll tell you after the
Just
show.
just think a minute.
All right, well, fellas, that's our pick 'em. Guys, got anything before we get out of here?
Good.
You're good.
I'm good.
Don't forget to stop by BELLACINO'S, grab a bite to eat down here in Grundy when you're coming through, especially if you're bringing your football team or your fan or your caravan and so forth.
Tell them the CRIG sent you. Get you 10% off for a football team.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe.
They can't when you can't get it out on the line.
He'll be right. We had some technical difficulties last week, but we'll get it taken care of.
Difficulties.
God, that's a good one right there. All right. Joy said. God almighty. Oh, Lord. All right. Until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Tester.
Coach Krieger.
Reminding you that just because you're not paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Good night.
Was the wooden horse?
Yeah.
My belly is rumbling. I hunger, mother. I hunger.
Do that in
my
a
belly
cold face.
is rumbling.
All right. Welcome back to the show. Now it's time for our top 5 in 1A and 2A, brought to you by the Wooden Horse Grill located in Hurley, Virginia, right down the street from the Hurley Meat Market. All right.